Hi, Macy here from Love Vibe TV. I am your big happy love coach and I help single women fall in love. And in fact, I call myself the unicorn wrangler because I help you find the kind of love that you never thought could exist. And I even have this amazing unicorn statue on my altar to help bring in those goddesses that will lead you to love. So I'm completely on your team and working as hard as I can to support you in love. And that's why we're here today, because today I'm going to talk about what keeps professional single women stuck being single. And there are 5 things. And the reason why I can talk about this is because I spent a majority of my professional career in corporate America. I know you're shocked, right? You're looking at me like, well, there's no way she was in a real corporate job. Well, I was. And I had to really dial me down to like be in that environment. And that's part of the challenge. I mean, what I know is what made me successful in corporate America were the exact same things that actually kept me single. Not 100% of them, because there's some really helpful things, but for the most part, what I'm going to share with you today really are the barriers to love, and I see it all the time with my professional single women clients. So let's get going, and I'll share with you the first one, which is about prioritizing love. Many times the problem is that we're not prioritizing our love life. We're prioritizing getting the promotion and getting the project done and being really good at our jobs, maybe even professional training, but we're just leaving our love life to like the back burner. Like it's just like a half a pot of old macaroni and cheese, just like getting all dried up. That's not okay. I mean, we have to be able to bring our love life to the forefront, put it in front of us, and invest, time and energy and resources towards that. We want to make it a gourmet experience because it really matters. It's the most sacred thing we can have as a human. And yet we like chuck up a online profile and pretend to answer things here and there and just kind of leave it to default. And that's just not a good idea. So this doesn't mean that you have to quit your job and only look at love. No, you can actually have parallel paths here, and that's going to make all the difference. Because when I did that, and when my clients do that by investing in themselves and getting some support and love coaching, then it can exponentially move things forward. So number 1, prioritize. Number 2 is that when we're in corporate environments, most of the time we're living in a very masculine energy. And this can include that, yes, as women, we may be in the minority in our offices or in our corporations, but also that we're doing things. We're getting things done. We're in that masculine go, 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 go energy. And what we really need for relationships is to be able to also nurture our feminine energy so that you can receive a relationship. And I'm not saying go put on a hippie skirt and wear flowers in your hair and dance around the office and think that some Prince Charming's going to show up. But I am saying that we have to understand what that means and start working with our energies, because they are polarities. There's the masculine and the feminine, and they work like magnets. So, if you're strongly in your masculine, you're going to attract the feminine. If you're strongly in your feminine, then you can attract the masculine, and you can work with both of these energies together to create a really amazing relationship. So that's really important. Then number 3 is that often we're playing roles. We're in our parts. We're in a corporate culture that has its own flavor. And we're not able to 100% show up authentically as ourselves. We have to play the part. We have to impress different people or, be a specific role. And meanwhile, we're smothering a lot of who we genuinely are, which was very true for me. I just felt like I had maybe one little compartment in my cubicle where I had a couple little things that really represented me. And I was really hungry for that. And I didn't feel like I could totally express myself. And I had specific tasks that I would do on a regular basis that didn't include some other things that I feel like are totally me. And, over days and months and years, then you can start getting disconnected from who you really are. And if you're not being able to bring that authentic, true you into a dating experience or into like an online dating profile or wherever you're going to meet people, your person is not going to be able to find you because you're not actually showing up as you. So if you're one of those people that's like, I don't like the people I attract, well, it could be a lot of this kind of vibe that's going out that's been kind of sculpted by the environment you're in. So not being able to be yourself is the third one. The fourth one is that whether you know this or not, you may have a belief that having a relationship is a lot of work. And that could come from really either past relationships where you've experienced like emotionally draining, toxic kind of experiences. So your nervous system is actually trying to protect you from that and then repelling away any relationships right now. Or it could just come from just the idea that you're thinking, okay, well, it's going to be like a full-time job to even find a person and go date and go on dates and go to singles events and all these things. And yes, you do need to spend some time doing that, but I can promise you that it doesn't have to be a burden. Once you are able to attract the right kind of relationship for you, then it's actually easier. You get to feel more ease. You get to feel that life in love is easier. That's the truth. So how do we heal the past so that we're not working against our love attraction to find our person that makes life easier? So that one can take a little bit more healing and nurturing. For me, that was a big deal to actually decide that, you know what, I need some help and I need to learn how to receive support. That's part of the masculine feminine thing we just talked about too, is that, okay, well, I've been able to do everything. I get my jobs and succeed and buy a house and do all these things. And yet, we're not opening ourselves up to really getting the support we need to have a relationship. And then that brings me to the final one, which is that as professional women, leaders, running teams and creating all sorts of programs, whatever you're doing, you're busy. And I get that. That's like you're working, a full-time gig. You may have to work overtime. Maybe some of you are working more hours than you need to or should. But part of that can be that we have these unconscious or conscious fears of, being lonely and maybe feeling lonely, which then means that we just put ourselves into our work to like numb the pain. and working extra to not have to be alone in our house as much, or not have to have a meal alone, whatever it is, our busyness can become a barrier to love. And I see that all the time too. So this is not about beating yourself up. Gary says, don't worry, we're going to help you. This is about really being able to listen to yourself deeply and say, what is it that I really want? And being honest about that. Like, seriously, stop, putting this on the back burner like dry macaroni and cheese, and making this a time to invest in yourself. For me, I had to step outside of the box and just say, you know what? This is important to me, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to figure this out. And I noticed I lost so many years to my life and my career that I didn't get to share with someone. And I'm happy to say that once I did this work and was able to prioritize and learn how to be in my feminine and be able to totally be authentically myself, and to learn how to navigate the dating world so it didn't feel like a full-time job, and then to let go of some of the busyness that was keeping me from getting what I really wanted. That was when I actually attracted a whole different kind of person and finally met my adorable, darling husband, Larry. So you can have that too. And what I know is, with support, you can have the relationship where you're cherished and where you get to plan adventures with, or just hang out on the couch and cuddle with, and just really have someone who gets you, someone who you can debrief your day with, someone who you can share meals with, someone who really understands you at the deepest level. And that's a real soulmate, unicorn kind of love. So let's talk about how you can fast track your path to love. Reach out to me and we will discuss ways that you can get there. And I can't wait to help you out here. And Gary is really getting a little antsy because he really wants you to have a special person. Come on. So reach out to me, Macy@theloveadvantage.com. I can't wait to talk to you. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you real soon. Bye. Bye.